Hello everyone, in the second part of RxJava free tutorial. In this video we will be covering observable factory methods, which simplify observable creation. In the previous video I showed you how you can create observable from scratch using create factory method. However, usually you will be creating your observables using different ways. Let's start with the just operator, probably because it is the simple one. So let's declare our observable, which will be of type string. And we will be using the just method, which I just mentioned. So as you can see, just is something that takes, as I believe, up to 10 parameters, and you can pass there whatever you want. So we'll be using, for our example, this first overload, which takes 2 items. So as you can see, it's the generic type, so we can pass whatever we want. Let's just emit 2 items, item 1 and item 2. So from the previous video, you already know that we need to subscribe to our observable, so only then our observable can emit some items and we can actually listen to the emission. Let's create our observer. This is something that is a bit different in opposite to the previous video, because in previous video I will show you how you can listen to the on next, on complete, on error callbacks using your own implementation of consumer interface. But we have also another way, and this way is by using our observer. So you will see in a minute how it looks. And actually you can see we're creating implementation of our observer. You can be familiar with the free methods, free callbacks, which we described in the previous tutorial, and you can see also on subscribe method, which is something that we haven't discussed so far, and we'll be covering on subscribe and disposable in the next video. Let's print to the console our items. So on next callback, when it will be called, we'll get the item 1 and item 2, and also just, you of course don't see it, but under the hood, when it finishes emissions, it calls also on complete. So let's print something here also, on complete called. Okay. Now we need to subscribe to our observable, so let's do it using our observer. And as you can see, here is the method which I used in the previous video, and this subscribe overload takes up to 3 parameters. But in this tutorial, in this video, I will show you how you can do that, how you can achieve similar thing using this observer implementation. So let's run our example. And as you can see, nothing fancy here. We have our item 1, item 2 emitted, and also on complete get called. So this is how observable just works. Quite simple, right? Okay, so the next factory method which I will be describing is called fromIterable. So usually you will have some scenarios in which you will have some creation of the observable basing on some list array, basically of some collection, right? So now I will show you how you can emit item 1 by 1, which comes from such a list. So let's maybe declare some list first. It will be list of integer. Let's call it numbers. And let's add number 1 to this, and also number 2. And also maybe one more note about just method on lists. We cannot simply pass the numbers here. I mean, we can, but our list will be emitted at once. So usually it is not the scenario you want to achieve, because basically very often what you would like to achieve is emission one by one some items from the list. So that's why we cannot use just operator here. So let's create our second observable, which will be of type integer, because we'll be listening for the numbers we just created. It's called observable 2, and we'll be utilizing fromIterable factor method. So as you can see, it takes one parameter, which is iterable, and our list is of type iterable, so we can pass it there. And now let's create our second observer, which will be listening for items emitted by observable 2. So we declare observer of type integer. Let's call it observer 2, and let's create our implementation. Let's grab that so we know when next item is emitted, and also when there is no more items and emission is completed. Okay, so we have our observable to observer 2 in place, and let's combine them by subscribing. Sorry, this needs to be observable 2. Okay, and let's run our example now, or maybe not right away. We'll comment this so we avoid some mess in the console. And as you can see, our iterable actually emitted items one by one. So firstly we have this 1, then 2, and onComplete is called. So once again, for our scenario, for our purpose, we couldn't use the just operator here and pass numbers collection there, because we would, let's say, get emission of the entire list at once, not one by one. So thank you for watching this, and in the second part of this factory methods videos I will show you another ways how you can create observable. See you soon. Bye.